Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and today we're going to be doing our May results as well as our May week 4 check-in. So let's go ahead and get started since this video usually tends to be a lot longer. Alrighty, so we are going to go ahead and check in for week 4 from the 22nd all the way to the 31st. And I already have all of our expenses written down as well. We're going to go ahead and pull up the app for us to use. In the app, as always, is going to be the daily budget app. So I already have all the transactions pulled up over here. And since today is June already, that's kind of why I have to go backwards to the previous month. But we are going to be checking in from the 22nd. So for the 22nd, we already do have some categories spent here. The month of May in general has not been the best month for us budget-wise. We've definitely gone over in a lot of different ways, but it's okay. I'm hoping June will be a lot better for us. I think because of how bad we did in May, I might have to completely redo our sinking funds. But let's see how it goes when we check everything out and how negative we are. So I have my key here with all the different color categories of what each color means. Let's go ahead and check in. And if you guys are curious about this app or any of our checking accounts and how everything's set up, I will have a video linked below that goes into details of the apps that we use, why we only use credit cards and why we don't use cash, as well as how our checking and our savings accounts are hooked up to be able to help us budget every single month and stay on top of things. But alrighty, so for Sunday the 22nd, we have two expenses here. Both of them are from our eating out category, which is this pink category. That's what I used the fork and knife to symbolize. One of them was Tiger Sugar and the other one was Pho Num Num. So we did want to eat some pho, and then we also, I've been loving drinking Tiger Sugar really bad, but I've been loving Tiger Sugar. Everything that I've been wanting to eat and drink this pregnancy, very sugary, very sweet. Oh my goodness. Okay, so moving on to Monday the 23rd. Monday the 23rd, we had 3 transactions. The first one is gas. Gas is this green color here, and gas was $48. Next, we also spent from Groceries. Groceries is that little grocery cart, and we spent $34 at H Mart. And then the last category that we have down here is from the baby category. For that category, it is a sinking fund, which is why you see that little house icon there and why I have baby on there. So you guys will see that we have a baby category now. And we did spend $40 from that. I got some more belly oil and some nipple cream. I don't know if that's TMI, but I did pick up a couple of those. So that was $40, and that is in sinking funds. That's not one of my monthly categories here, so that is why it was tracked over there. Then on the 24th, we have one more transaction for food. I don't know why I didn't write what it was. I just put food, and I have no memory of what it was, so I just wrote food. Whatever it was that we spent that day, it was $26. Then we didn't spend anything on the 25th or the 26th, and then moving on to the 27th, we did have to get gas again. The reason why we have to get gas so much is because my husband does have to commute multiple days of the week, and gas definitely does add up, especially because when he commutes, it is an hour there and an hour back. But that was gas for $49. Then we also got Target, which is the grocery cart. That is our groceries category here, and that was $11 at Target. Next, we also got Kyoto ice cream. That was $7, and that was from my eating out category over here. And then on the 28th, I got IHOP, which was $32. If you guys might know from previous videos, I've talked about how much I love pancakes right now. I've been doing well. I haven't been eating them so much, so this is one of the days that I wanted to eat pancakes. Then on the 29th, it looks like we have another little house icon, which means that's from sinking funds. That is G/T. That's what I use to put gift/treating, and I have that one here for gift/treating for $48. It was from Memorial Weekend. We picked up some cake and a bunch of beer to bring over to his family's house. I didn't drink, of course, but it was for the family and for Dustin since they were having a barbecue. So that one is calculated as well. And then lastly, on Monday, for Memorial Day, this is the day that we got groceries. We did like a whole bunch of house chores and stuff too. So we ended up getting food, and we also had to get gas again. So gas was $24. We decided to get gas one more time since the month was ending, and we were already so negative this month. So hopefully this helps out, even if it's just a bit, for June. So that is gas. So we also got a whole bunch of food, and we picked up some food from Wawa. We took it out of our groceries category because our eating out category was empty. So we still had some funds in our groceries. So that was Wawa. Then we have Target. Target, we also spent $27. And I believe this was actual groceries. Same with H Mart. This was actual groceries as well. But for Wawa, and then also for Firebird, we spent $58. These were categories that we took out of groceries because our eating out category was empty. But that is all of those categories over here. So that is all we need the app for. Let's go ahead and pop this key back in real quick. And then let's also go ahead and put down our no spend stickers. So I still have the colorway that I've been using, so I'm going to continue using the colorway. But next month, I think I'm going to use the nude colorway for the non-spend. So we have a good amount of days that we didn't spend money this month, which is really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and just lay those down. Okay. Well, I thought it was a good amount of days, but it could be better. But that is what this monthly view looks like so far. Definitely a bunch of spending this month. We spent quite a bit this month, and I think next month is going to be the same because we will be commuting to Philadelphia quite often. Let's go ahead and do our check-in. So we're going to go ahead and do our check-in for our weekly balance and our weekly check-in to just balance out everything. So let's do this one first as always. So I went ahead and wrote down the categories. And then I also don't have any rollover, so I'm just going to put dashes in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and use these fine tip markers from Erin Condren as usually, just to check things out. I'll just use the orange one, since I think that's what I used last time. I don't remember, but let's do the orange. And I'm going to go ahead and use the red because I know we're going to be negative for some categories. So let's go ahead and go through each one first. Let's do eating out. So I like to do the ones where I don't have any colors first. So that is going to be this violet color and also the yellow color for pups. So both of those, we know we didn't spend anything. So I'm going to go ahead and just put 0 for both. And this is just what's easiest for me. That means allowance, we're still at 0. And at pups, we still have $50. We splurged on a lot of toys previous months, so we ended up not really having to buy anything for them, especially because their food and everything comes in bulk, if you guys might know from our sinking funds. But going back, let's go ahead and let's do gas. Gas, we only have 3 categories. Let's do that one first. So we have $49 for gas over here, plus $48, plus $24. All 3 of these added together is $121 for gas. Last week that we checked in, we were already in the negatives, which means a negative 62 minus an additional $121. That means we are negative $183 for gas. Oh yeah. And then next, let's go ahead and move on to the other categories. Let's do eating out next, which is the pink ones. So we have $36 plus $13 plus $26 plus $7 plus $32. That in total is $114 spent for groceries. Last week when we checked in, we had $112. That minus $114 means we are negative $2 for eating out. Then lastly, let's go ahead and do groceries. So groceries are the blue colors here. So we have $11 plus $34 plus $58 plus $30 plus $27 plus $18. All of that combined equals to $178. Last month we had $192 leftovers, which means we still have $14 left in this account. Let's go ahead and double check that we have everything marked. Everything looks good. So everything is finally marked in for our weekly check-in for the monthly categories. So we have our total amount here. Let's move on to our weekly balance. So for bills, let's go ahead and check if any bills came out. I know that we had a couple remaining, which was for internet, Spotify, and Disney. So let's go ahead and check from the 22nd to the 31st to see if any of those bills came out, which they should have. And I also like to take this opportunity to check for any weird expenses that came out. Weird as in like abnormal or things that we missed, anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and check for those. And since all three of these come from my credit card, I'm just gonna check our credit card for all three of those. Okay, so all three of these did come out, and I actually saw that Easy Pass did auto refill too. So I added that onto our transaction for our sinking funds, since I do have an Easy Pass sinking fund over here, and it refilled $25 automatically. So that's also another reason why I like doing the weekly check-ins, so I can just cross-examine just the last week or whatever week I'm checking in for to make sure all the expenses look good and everything was from us. But since all three of these did come out, let's go ahead and add them up. So we have internet that finally came out, which was $79.99, plus Spotify, which is $10.59, and then lastly is Disney Plus, I believe it's called, which is $21.19. That in total is $111.77. So all of our bills did come out for the month. So let's go ahead and calculate that. So for bills, total is $111.77 is what came out. We started the week with $212.45. That means we still have a remaining amount of $100 for bills, which is excellent. We always want to have extra. I never want to be short for bills. So that looks good. Next, we have a monthly budget, which is these categories over here, these 5 categories. I'm going to go ahead and add up all of these numbers here, the 114, the 178, and the 121. That in total is $413 that we spent for this past week and a half-ish. That means we are negative because we only had $292 left over the previous week, which means we are negative $121, and a lot of that is because of gas. Next, we have sinking funds. So we definitely spent from sinking funds from a few categories. So we have these 3 categories here, and that's kind of why I like to have the check marks, because it's just visually very easy for me to see. So we have the baby category, which is 40 plus 48 plus 25. In total, we spent $113 from our sinking funds. And then last time we first checked in, we had $28.69. After spending $113, we still have $2,756 in our sinking funds. Before we finally wrap up our monthly categories and our May budget, I do want to go ahead and just do our transfers between our accounts. First, I want to add up all of these categories here. So we have $168 minus $121 plus $27.56. That means in our checking account that holds all of these funds, we should have $27.35.68. So let's go ahead and do our transfers first. So we know for our monthly budget sinking funds, those always come out of our credit card. We never pay debit or cash for any of those. So we know those all come out of credit card, which means those funds were not taken out of our checking account yet. So we have to go and pay for it. So I'm going to go ahead and do the transfer for these. And that is going to be from our second checking account that holds the funds for the monthly budget, bills, and sinking funds. And I forgot to change the sticky note here, but because this was what that first week ended with, I was supposed to update it with this number and I never did, because I just like to have it there so you guys see it as a visual. But that account, it did end in 73.45 the last time we checked in. But now we're going to go ahead and transfer 413, 113, and then also for our bills, if you remember, all 3 of those bills that came out this last week, they all came out from credit card as well. So that means this whole total of all these three categories, I'm going to go ahead and transfer it from our second checking account to our primary checking account. And our primary checking account is what I use to pay for our credit cards. And I definitely explained that as well in the video that I'll link below. Alrighty, so that is balanced out now, and this checking account, after transferring this money over, it does equal to this amount now. So the new total in this account is $2735.68. And that is how much is in our second checking account, since our second checking account only holds the funds for these 3 accounts. Now let's go ahead and move on to closing out our budget. We finally checked in all of our accounts look good. Let's go ahead and now wrap up everything. So our variance for our utilities gas, since we were under budget, which is great, we had $32.49 left over. Same with our electric, we were under budget, so 70 minus the $23.40, that is $46.60. Our holder always ends in the same amount that we started, since this is not actually a bill, nothing comes out. Mobile, 200 minus 183.75, that is $16.25. So let me go ahead and add up the total for the actual. So the total for the actual is $284.66, and then our total variance is $168 that we have left over for bills. And as you guys see, it does match here as well for our total left over for bills. So that is fantastic. That means we spent under $3,000 for bills this month. So that's pretty good. Moving on, let's go ahead and check in for our variable categories, and that is these categories over here. So I'm going to go ahead and just transfer over these numbers. Honestly, that's what's the easiest for me. So we know for eating out, we are negative $2. And then also for gas, we're negative $183. Then we have pups, which still has $50 in there for pups. Then we have allowance, which we ended up having no variance. And then for groceries, we have a positive $14. That means in total for eating out, we spent $302. For groceries, we spent $386. For gas, we spent way more, which was $383, which is insane. For allowance, we spent the full $100. And then for pups, we did not spend anything. So let me go ahead and add up all the variance amounts over here. So in total, adding up all the variance, it equals to a negative 121. I accidentally wrote it the first time in the black pen. So that's kind of why I'm over here and it looks a little like bad right there, but that's okay. So you guys will see it also matches the monthly budget. We ended with a negative 121, and that is a negative 121. That means in total that we spent $1,171. And then let's go ahead, last but not least, is our sinking funds. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up our sinking funds real quick. Let's go ahead and just mark things off. So for Sandy's loan, we still did not transfer this yet, but we will, I believe, in the month of June, since we'll have an even 2,000. So we'll go ahead and transfer that all over. So our end amount for this is $1,800. Car insurance, nothing came up for car insurance, so this we're ending with $161. Sewer and water, nothing came out for sewer and water either, so this we're ending with $227. For Christmas, we did not spend anything for Christmas, which we will start shopping for Christmas soon, especially since the baby will be here in September. I just want to make sure we have everything and we're not rushing, especially when we'll have a newborn. So that is what Christmas ends with, is $360. So I had to start beefing this up since that's the case. For Pups Medical, nothing came out of Pups Medical, so we are ending this with $71. For our medical, nothing came out of this either, so we're ending this with $181. For baby, we did spend some from baby, so it looks like we only have 2 categories spent, which was the $58 and then another one for $40. That in total is $98. And I like to put the second check here, just again, it's just a visual thing because I tend to miss things if I don't do that. But that is what we spent. That means in total we still have $102 left over in this category. For car maintenance, we did have something for car maintenance as well. Car maintenance was for the brake fluid. This was $78. So $78 for car maintenance. That means the 72 plus the 50 minus the 78 is $44 left over in this category. For gifts and treating, we definitely spent way too much this month. I did not budget enough for everything, and I know next month we're gonna have to spend more from this category as well because of all the different events. Let's see what happens. But for gifts and treating, the first one we have here is $87. So we have 87 plus 43 plus 110, and then plus 86 over here, and then plus another 48 down here. That is $374 that we spent from this category. That means we're negative this category by $128. And then we will have to beef this back up as well. So to be honest, I think for when we do sinking funds, I'll probably have to withdraw from savings. It's a bad month, but it's okay. So let's go ahead and move on to household. So for household, we did not have anything. For dates, we did have one expense at the very beginning of the month. We spent $78 for hibachi. That means for household, we still have $56. And then for dates, we have $42 left over. For our home category, we did not have any expenses over here. Same with clothes, food, pups, miscellaneous. For Costco, we didn't spend anything. That's kind of why I like the visual thing, because I can see I only have unbudgeted and then one easy pass left, which is nice. So for that easy pass, we have $25 that came out of easy pass. So everything looks checked off except for just the unbudgeted. So we will check that off in a second here. Let's go ahead and calculate the totals. So for home, we have $200. For clothes, we have $70. For pups food, we have $84. For pups miscellaneous, $70. Costco, we have $80. For Easy Pass, we still have $20. For office, we have $70. For beauty category, we have $60. Now, last but not least, our unbudgeted. So for her budgeted, we had two big expenses. So both of these combined is $1,189. So all of our sinking fund transactions are now marked off. That is $1,189 that we spent, which means we are negative for sure. So we are negative $889. This is definitely very sad for me, but things happen, so it's okay. Let me go ahead and calculate everything that we've spent, and then let me calculate the end amount and make sure everything checks in okay. Okay, so I double checked everything, and I don't know why, but these past couple months I keep messing up the sinking funds. I double checked everything and I kept getting $75 short. I kept being under this number. Every time I added everything up, all of this combined kept equaling to $26.81, and then I found out why. The total starting with, I was $65 short. I don't know where I got the extra $65. And also when I added funds, I added $10 less. So that's why I was short $75 in the total. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna just like save the confusion and I'm just gonna fix this and then I'm gonna wrap up the video. But now that is what this is looking like. I'm just gonna leave it as is. I'm not even going to like mess with it anymore, but these are the actual numbers. So this was $65 less, this was $10 less, which means 65 plus 10, $75 less, and that's why the number is less. Because normally the $27.56 is supposed to match what we end with, but since I messed up this month setting it up, it's a different number. But that is okay. It's less. It's not more. It's less, which means we have an extra $75 for next month, which is great. I'd rather mess up that way versus the other way. But anyway, I hope that part wasn't too confusing. But yeah, so that's actually going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much as always for tuning in. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video nonetheless. And hopefully I will see you guys on my next one. Bye!